You know that feeling, right? That little jolt of panic. You're out, you really need your phone, and then you see it, that dreaded red battery icon. You swear you just charged it, but it's already hanging on for dear life. You start blaming the battery, maybe the phone's just getting old, but what if I told you the real culprit has been hiding in plain sight this whole time? What if it's the apps you use every single day?
Yeah, you heard that right. We've all been led to believe that our batteries just get old and die out. And look, they do degrade over time, sure, but that's not the main reason you're scrambling for a charger by mid-afternoon. The real issue, the thing that's really doing the damage, is what your apps are up to when you're not even looking at them.
I know what you're thinking, because it's a totally fair question. If you close an app, it should be closed, right? Off. Done. But that's just not how our smartphones are designed to work anymore. There's this secret, kind of hidden process that's always running in the background, and it's about time we dragged it out into the light. So, this brings us right to the heart of the problem. Let's call it the silent drain. It's the reason your phone sometimes feels a little warm in your pocket for no reason, or why you can lose like 20% of your charge while it's just sitting on your desk doing nothing. It's totally invisible, but its effect on your battery? Oh, it's very, very real.
Okay, so the technical term for this whole thing is background app activity. Now let me break it down. When you swipe away from an app, you'd think it completely shuts down. Nope. It just goes into this kind of standby mode where it can still check for new messages, it can refresh your social media feed, or even track your location. Now, for some apps, this is useful, but for most of them, it's just a total unnecessary power hog.
Here's a way to think about it. Imagine every app running in the background takes a tiny little sip of your battery. Just a sip. One sip, no big deal. But what happens when you have dozens of apps all taking these little sips, all day, all night? Well, your battery just doesn't stand a chance. They're basically little digital vampires, and they are always thirsty.
But here is the really good news. You don't have to delete your favorite apps. You don't have to go out and buy a brand new phone. There is an incredibly simple, super powerful fix that puts you back in control. You can stop this drain, and honestly, it takes less than a minute.
So this is the key. Your phone already has the tools you need to fight back against this. You just have to tell it which apps are allowed to sip away in the background and which ones need to be put on a really tight leash. It's just a single setting change for each app, but believe me, it makes all the difference in the world.
All right, let's get to it. I'm going to walk you through the exact steps to take back your battery life. Think of this as your guide to putting a stake right through the heart of those digital vampires.
Okay, here we go. It's a simple 4-step fix. First up, open your phone's main settings app. Got it? Good. Step 2, just scroll down till you find battery and give that a tap. Step 3, in there, look for something that says battery usage. This is going to show you a list of all your apps, probably ranked by how much juice they're using. And you might be really surprised by what you see at the top. And finally, step 4, tap on one of those big battery hogs. You'll see some options to manage its background activity. All you have to do is select Restrict, and that's it. Vampire meet cage. Now let's talk about the best part. After you take just a few moments to go in and restrict your most power-hungry apps, what do you actually get for your trouble? This isn't one of those long-term, maybe it'll work someday kind of fixes. No, the results are immediate, and they are significant. So think about it. You've spent, 30 seconds? Maybe a minute? Tapping through a few menus? You've told those social media apps and games that they can't just run wild in the background anymore? So what's the actual tangible reward for that tiny little investment of your time? That's what. On average, people who do this can get up to 3 extra hours of battery life. Every single day. I mean, that's more time to find your way, more time to call your friends, and a lot more time before you have to start desperately hunting for a power outlet. That is a massive payoff for such a tiny bit of effort. You know, when it comes down to it, this is about more than just your phone battery. It's about realizing how many things in our lives we just accept as normal without ever stopping to ask if they're actually working for us. By changing this one little default setting, you literally reclaim a piece of your day. It really makes you wonder, what other default settings in our lives are just running in the background, waiting for us to take a closer look?